So in this video we're going to look at flexion exercises. It's one of my favourite exercises and you can use it from grassroots to Grand Prix. It's really good exercise to get the horse more independent in the neck. So all we're going to do is take the long side and go straight down the wall, and then all I'm going to do is ask for a little bit of flexion to the inside in the neck, keeping the body straight. So to do this, I do little half halts on the inside rein. I keep my inside leg on at all times to help the stability. And then we're just going to ask for a little bit of flexion, just doing little half halts down the rein and just flex to the inside, keeping the body dead straight. Now, if your horse is new to this, you'll have to take your time and build up the suppleness. So it may be that you can only ask for a little bit of flexion to start off with, but that's fine. They just have to build up the flexibility in their neck. So again, just straight down the long side using the wall and flexion to the inside. And if you find your horse puts his shoulders in or tries to wobble off the track, just keep your inside leg down by the girth and on his side, and then ask for a little bit less and gradually build up the flexion over time. So we're just going to do this on the other side. And I like to use this exercise to teach the baby steps of a half pass, to teach travers, and also to help them be a lot straighter on the centre line, because it's my belief that if a horse is independent in the neck and through both reins, then they will be straighter in their bodies. So we're just going to do the same on this rein, making sure the rhythm is forward and the horse is actually taking you forward, and again just straighten the body down the long side and flexion in the neck, keeping my hands either side of the neck. I don't change in my body, keep my body central. And it's really important to make sure that your hands are either side of the neck. Don't cross them over, because you'll block them in the shoulder and it'll restrict them in the neck for the flexion. So again, just asking a little bit of flexion to the inside, and you can see I'm making little releases down the reins, and that's just to make sure that I'm not holding on to the horse in that flexion and the horse is not hanging on to me, and to stay in that flexion until you tell them otherwise. So again here, straight on the wall, horse does not move his body and just flexes in the neck. And the more you do of this, the more flexible they'll become. Now, if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, once your horse is confident at going down the long side with an inside flexion, then we're just going to take the horse off the wall a few metres. So either onto the 3/4 line or a couple of metres in off the wall. We're going to ask them to go straight and then flex. And this is great for their core stability, because they're having to hold their body straight while you are asking for a flexion to the inside. So we're going to take the 3/4 line and ride straight first of all, keeping that nice lovely forward rhythm, and then I'm just going to ask him for a little bit of inside bend. And what you want to be making sure is the horse holds the line, so make sure you're looking down your line so you stay straight. And then when you ask for the flexion, you're not wanting the horse to wobble back to the wall or go into a little bit of shouldering. You just want them to stay on that line with that flexion to the inside. So we're going to come again. So I'm going to ride straight first, keeping that same rhythm, little half halts with my inside rein, still keeping a little bit of inside leg on so they have that stability, and then I'm going to ride straight, and I'm just using the outside rein just to keep the roundness. So we're going to go head on into the camera now, so this will show some flaws. So straight in the neck and then flexion to the inside. And you can see his footfall is in a dead straight line. He hasn't moved. Whether I've asked him to flex the inside or go straight, he hasn't moved in the body. So I'm just going to do it down the long side this time. Now in all these exercises you can vary it. And remember, it takes time. So it's not a 5-minute fix. But you can also do this out hacking as well, if you're allowed to hack still. And also in the school. And you can do this in walk, trot and canter. I find it a really good exercise for all three paces. So we're going to come on the other rein towards the camera, and we're going to ride straight first. And if your horse is struggling with this exercise, then keep the flexion on the turn. You don't have to go straight to start off with. It's all about developing the horse's flexion and suppleness. So again, there you can see he's going straight in his body and just a little bit of flexion in the neck, and just little half halt releases, give and retaking, making sure he stays soft in the frame, soft over the back and in the outline. And make sure your position doesn't change. As I said before, the hands stay either side of the neck, and that you take your time with this exercise. So we're going to ride straight, and then I'm just going to ask for a little bit of flexion. You see, just moved a little bit to the right, but then he's stabled himself and actually then kept straight in the body. So I'm just going to ride straight down this long side and just make sure he's forward again. And if you really want to challenge yourself, so this is the next challenge, once your horse is secure at doing this off the wall, then we're going to ask for a flexion either side this time. So we're going to take him straight and flex to the inside, keeping straight in the body, then riding straight a couple of strides and then flexing through to the right. And again, your horse shouldn't move in the body, should stay on the same line, and it looks easier than it is. It is actually quite tricky because when you touch the rein, the horse will more than likely want to move to one side or the other. So it's important to take your time and make sure they understand what you mean when you touch those reins. So again, we're going to flex to the inside, keeping straight in the body, and then straighten him through and flex to the outside, and then straighten him again. And you see it should be a smooth movement, no resistance, hands either side of the neck. And when they get confident, you'll feel like you've got a straighter horse, a more flexible horse. And you'll also find that they'll get stronger from this exercise.